أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، ولا عاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم عبد الله ورسوله. We thank the Almighty Allah for giving us an opportunity to be here. We thank Him for His mercies that He's bestowed upon us. We bear witness that there is no deity worthy of worship except the Almighty Allah. We also bear witness that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the servant and His messenger. Today is a Saturday, I believe the 12th day of Sha'ban, 1444 years after the hijrah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It also corresponds, I believe, with the 4th day of March 2023. And we thank our Sheikh Hafiz for these wonderful statements that are primarily based on Tawheed and Aqidah, which is very, very important. Because for us Muslims, that is the bedrock of our faith. Our Aqidah, our creed, our theology is very important. You know, it's like you have, one written. You have one written here. And then you add zeros, 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 zeros. That makes it 100,000, right? With 5 zeros. If you take out 1 zero, you have 10,000. You take out another 0, you have 1,000. As you continue to take out the zeros, when you're left with 1 0, that's 10. If you take out the 1 0, you're left with what? 1. But then if you have 100,000, and then you take out the 1, what remains? Nothing. Tawheed and Aqidah is the one. Tawheed and Aqidah is that one. So if your Tawheed and your Aqidah is in shambles, then the rest of your Ibadah and the rest of your Islam is not appropriate. So it's important that we have some of these reminders all the time, speaking about Aqidah. Without me taking much of your time, I know it's been a long day and most of you are tired. Islam is a university. Islam is like a university. And every university has a requirement before you join it. For the University of Islam, you need to have a certificate. And the certificate is, who knows the certificate of joining the University of Islam? Iman, yes. And what's the bedrock of Iman? Tawheed, Shahada. That's it. The Kalima. And Shahada, that we already know, in the Arabic language, Shahada also means certificate, bear testimony. So the Almighty Allah tells us in Surah Al-Anbiya, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِنْ قَبْلِكَ مِنْ رَسُولٍ إِلَّا نُوحِي إِلَيْهِ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا أَنَا فَاعْبُدُونَ. Before you are accepted into the University of Islam, you should bear this witness. You should have this certificate of the Kalima. And it is important that we understand the term La ilaha illallah. You don't say La ilaha and then you keep quiet. The moment you say La ilaha, that makes you an atheist. Because La ilaha means there is no God. Illallah means except the Almighty Allah. So this statement, La ilaha illallah, is a very profound statement. It negates and then it what? It substantiates or emphasizes that there is no deity worthy of worship except the Almighty Allah. And this is the key for entering Islam. The kuffar in Mecca really understood this word, this phrase. That is why he gave the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ a hard time. Because he told them, Allata, Al-Uzza, Al-Manata, and all these gods are useless. You need to come and worship the one true God. And they said, أَجَعَلَ الْآلِهَةَ إِلَهًا وَاحِدًا. Now Muhammad wants to bring all the gods into one God. This is a strange statement. Because they knew they had God of war, they had God of rain, they had God of the harvest, they had God of the travels. And Muhammad is saying, all these gods can't do anything. There's only one true God who does all of these things. So they gave him a hard time. And because it is a very, very important statement, he spent 13 years in Mecca drumming these down. And the reason being, if you observe, most of the Meccan surahs speak about Tawheed and Aqidah. But then the Medina surah are more of, laws and legislations and then rulings. So the Aqidah must be built first, and then later the laws, the rulings that then can come in. So if you learn the laws and then the rulings without really knowing or understanding Aqidah, with all due respect, you have a long way to go. So Aqidah, Tawheed, Shahadatu an la ilaha illallah, that's the number one requirement for entering the University of Islam. The university has 4 faculties. The first faculty is the faculty of Salat. That's the first faculty. It is a very, very important faculty that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is reported to have said, أَوَّلُ مَا يُحَاسِبُ بِهِ الْعَبْدُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ الصَّلَاةِ. The first thing that a person is going to be questioned upon on the day of Qiyamah is what? As-salah. In saluhat. If she is perfect, then the rest of the matters will fall in place. The Almighty Allah says in Surah An-Nisa, فَإِذَا قَضَيْتُمُ الصَّلَاةَ فَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ قِيَامًا وَقُعُودًا وَعَلَى جُنُوبِكُمْ فَإِذَا اطْمَأْنَنْتُمْ فَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ إِنَّ الصَّلَاةَ كانت على المؤمنين كتابا موقوتا. So that's the second faculty. The third faculty, that's the first faculty, as-salah. The second faculty is the faculty of what? Zakat. So if you have salah and then you have zakat, salah is primarily between you and the Almighty Allah. Primarily. So Islam, as we said, the university teaches you, a lot of life skills. The requirement for entering the university itself is that you have this relationship with the Almighty Allah, with the Kalimatul Tawheed. The first faculty, which is the faculty of Salah, is what really emphasizes for you the statement of requirement for entering the university, which is what? As-Salah. The Salah that you practice is the manifestation of what? Of the Kalimatul Tawheed that you use to enter the university. So as a student in the university, if you want to maintain your grades, you always go for lectures and then you always take part in the quizzes. Same way as a student of Islam in the University of Islam, if you want to maintain your admission and then your progress in that university, you must always maintain your ibadah and then your salah especially. So, my brothers and sisters, let's understand one thing. I always say this, and it always baffles me that you find people say, I'm a Muslim, but I'm not a practicing Muslim. It's very weird for me. I don't know how you call that thing. Is it a paradox or is it an oxymoron? It's very weird for me that you say, I'm a Muslim, but I'm not practicing. It's very weird. It's like you're saying, I'm a citizen, but I'm not law-abiding. It doesn't add up. You are only a citizen and you deserve that citizenship is when you go by the laws of the place that you find yourself in. So if you say you are a Muslim, you need to go by the laws that the Almighty Allah has set in place. So Salah, that's your relationship with Almighty Allah. And because Islam is a very, very, forward-thinking and, human-centered institution, it gives you the next level, the next faculty that you're going to join in the University of Islam is the faculty of zakat. And zakat in the Arabic language literally means purification. So now, what's the relationship between purification and then giving out money? Because the linguistic meaning of zakat is to purify something. But then the terminological meaning in Islam is what? Giving out your money. So what's the connection between giving out money and then purification? The scholars have told us that whatever you take out of your money to give out to someone to help that person, that thing, that amount of money that is taken out of your money purifies the whole blood you have hidden away. So the concept of zakat is that when you give out, the Almighty Allah is purifying your money. The more you give out, it's purifying your money. So zakat is a communal program, a social welfare program that Islam has instituted. That if you are well-to-do, if you have excess more than you need, then there are people who do not have what they can even eat on. So give to them. The Almighty Allah says, خُذْ مِنْ أَمْوَالِهِمْ صَدَقَةً تُطَهِّرُهُمْ بِهَا وَتُزَكِّيهِمْ. Take from their money a token, a sadaqah, تُطَهِّرُهُمْ, that will cleanse them. الطَّهَارِ تُطَهِّرُهُمْ, that is going to cleanse them. وَتُزَكِّيهِمْ, that is going to purify them. وَصَلِّ عَلَيْهِمْ, and then bless them. Pray for them. Inna salatika sakanun lahum. Verily your prayer for them is a source of respite and tranquility for them. Wallahu sami'un alim. And then Allah hears and then He knows. That's the second what? The second faculty. The third faculty is the faculty of what? Siyam. The Almighty Allah says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykum as-siyam kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. Now, after having that relationship with the Almighty Allah in the first faculty of Salah, and then having that relationship with the community in the second faculty of what? Zakat, the Almighty Allah now brings you back to yourself in the third faculty, which is the faculty of Siyam, which is what? A relationship with yourself, which is what? Fasting. And fasting, as we know, the benefits of fasting, whether they are spiritual or whether they are physical, we know it. This is not the time to espouse on that, but to give you an idea that the faculty of Islam or the University of Islam brings all this into what? All this into what? Into recognition and understanding. Now the last faculty, as we all know, is the faculty of what? The faculty of Hajj. And the secret behind this faculty is that this joins you, the Muslim, with other Muslims across the world. It cements the fact that Islam is a universal movement. And there's no difference between you in terms of your color, in terms of your social background, in terms of your financial background, in terms of your language, in terms of your ethnicity. It doesn't matter. Islam is the cement, is the glue that brings all of us together at the faculty of what? At the faculty of Hajj. So these are the four faculties we have in Islam, and there are other departments in every faculty. That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to go straight back to the third faculty, which is the faculty of what? Siyam, fasting. The Almighty Allah makes a very profound statement in the Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah, Quran chapter 2, verse 183, where He said, Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu. Please keep up with me on this one. I want us to have an exercise. Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu. Al-Iman. Kutiba alaykum as-siyam kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum as-siyam. That's the important word there. La'allakum tattaqun at-taqwa. So we have three words here. We have Al-Iman, As-Siyam, and At-Taqwa. The scholars of Tafsir are asking a question. Why did the Almighty Allah bring Siyam, fasting, between Iman and Taqwa? Why did the Almighty Allah place fasting between Iman and Taqwa. Not to take much of your time, Iman, we all know, is ما وقر في القلب وصدقه القول والعمل. Whatever is embedded in your heart and then it's manifest through your actions. That's what Iman means. So Iman literally is what is in your heart and then your actions what? Display it. And nobody has Iman written on their faces. And then it is levels. It's only the Almighty Allah who knows who the real mu'min is. We will come out here all dressed nice. Assalamu alaikum, salam, I love you. How are you, brother? It's been a while, I've seen you. But whether it is true or not, it is the Almighty Allah who knows it. So Iman is a sir between you and the Almighty Allah. The last word, which is at-taqwa, which is piety or God consciousness, that is also a sir, a secret between you and the Almighty Allah. Nobody knows it. And at-taqwa means putting a barrier between yourself and then the punishment of the Almighty Allah. And each and every one of us is at a level of taqwa. Because we are all trying to what? To find mercy from the Almighty Allah and then also be far away from the punishment of the Almighty Allah. And then this brings us to the second word, which is as-siyam, fasting. Is also a secret between you and the Almighty Allah. Nobody knows whether you are fasting or not. You can get a kettle full of water and then go into the washroom as if you're going to do istinja and drink the whole thing up. And then come out, clean your mouth and like, today what a tough day of fasting. Nobody knows. It's only Allah who knows. You can go into a neighborhood where nobody knows you, just go and get some McDonald's and then some French fries and then some lemonade and then you just wash it down and then come to the masjid and like, Imam, no, today the fasting is tough. Nobody knows. It's a secret between you and Almighty Allah. So the scholars of Tafsir are saying that before your siyam, is really on the level that the Almighty Allah requires you, then your iman and your taqwa must also be what? Standard. Because iman sirrun bayna abdu wa rabbi. As-siyam sirrun bayna al-abdu wa rabbi. Wa-taqwa sirrun bayna al-abdu wa rabbi. And then finally, when Almighty Allah spoke about the fasting in Surah Al-Baqarah, where we said Quran chapter 2, verse 183, the verses are very, very long, and I don't have much time, so I wouldn't read them. I just want to give you a picture of how the verses look like. When the Almighty Allah spoke about Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyam kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun ayyaman ma'dudat. The Almighty Allah speaks about fasting, and then in there He brings a verse, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي وَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْشُدُونَ. And then he goes back, أُحِلَّ لَكُمْ لَيْلَةَ الصِّيَامِ الرَّفَثُ إِلَى نِسَائِكُمْ. Why did the Almighty Allah bring a verse of dua in between the verses of fasting? Because he's been speaking about fasting all along the whole page, but he brings just one line or two lines speaking about dua. The Prophet Muhammad said that a fasting person, at the point of breaking his fast, his dua is never rejected. So to point or highlight the importance of dua in the whole scheme of fasting, the Almighty Allah brings it in there. To bring an end to my statement, don't forget to do dua when you are fasting. It's very, very important. And especially parents, don't forget to do a lot of dua for your children. Wallahi, it is the weapon that you have, that the Almighty Allah has given you. And the Almighty Allah says in the verse, let me explain the verse so that you know. وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِ. The sabab al-nuzul, the scholars are saying that people came to the Prophet Muhammad and said, Ya Rasulullah, the Almighty Allah, is he near to us? So we whisper, or is he far away? We were praying, we do it loud. He said, I didn't know. And then the Almighty Allah repeats the verse, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِ عَنِّي. when my servants come to you, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, asking you about me. This verse is a very unique verse, because you look into the Quran, يسألونك عن الأنفال قل الأنفال ويسألونك عن المحيط قل ويسألونك عن اليتامى قل. Anytime you see يسألونك in the Quran, the next word you find is what? قل. But in this verse, إذا سألك عبادي عني, the Almighty Allah didn't say قل إني قريب, He said فإني قريب. The scholars are saying in those verses, the Almighty Allah put an intermediary between He, the Almighty Allah, and those people who is the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to answer the question on behalf of the Almighty Allah. But when it comes to dua, so that you know that the Almighty Allah doesn't accept anybody, any rival, not even the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When they say إِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي, He didn't say فَقُلْ إِنِّي قَرِيب, He said فَإِنِّي قَرِيب. He Himself answered the question straightforward, which means the Almighty Allah doesn't have anybody who is going to stand between you and Him when it comes to you doing your dua. You go straight to the Almighty Allah. But then before that, فَيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي وَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي. If you want the Almighty Allah to answer your call, you should also answer the call of the Almighty Allah, which is what? Be steadfast on the deen, be resolute, take little steps as you can, but let them be consistent. Let them be consistent. Let them be consistent. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم. تفضل شيخنا.